Hello everyone, Chuck Northside Guy back with another video in my series featuring cards from the 1933 Goudey set. Actually, the whole set is coming your way. In this set, we find the mysterious appearance of Vince Vaughn, here shown as Hal Shoemaker. Actually, it's not, it's Hal Shoemaker. My kids thought that was Vince Vaughn, here in a PSA 6. Hal Shoemaker was a member of the Giants, which dominated and won the World Series in 1933, and Hal Schumacher, Prince Hal, helped pitch for the Giants in that championship. He had 19 victories in that season, 7 shutouts, and a 2.16 ERA, which was second only to Carl Hubble. I feature Carl Hubble in one of my earlier videos. He pitched a complete game in Game 2 of that series. One of the mysteries and why I'm featuring these players, who I had never heard of, and perhaps you haven't either, is there are going to be 7 doubles that I'm showing you of common players. Now, the 1933 set features players on more than one card. In the case of Lou Gehrig and Jimmy Fox, we see the identical card appearing twice. I don't understand that because those are obviously very famous and big name players. In this case, we have, in this video, 14 cards of 7 players, and they appear twice. And I had never heard of them before digging into it, but that's just one of the interesting features of the 1933 Goudey set. So now we're talking, seeing a card of Fat Freddy, who weighed in at 5'11", 205 pounds. This in an era when a lot of the players were weighing in under 170 pounds. Anyway, Fat Freddy was known for his knuckle curve. He had 217 wins, which were third most in the National League in the period of 1920 to 1955. I didn't know that. He and Carl Hubble dominated in a left-right combination at the heart of the New York Giants staff in 1933. And in that season, he won 16 games with a 2.9 ERA. And Fat Freddy for you right here. I'm going to show you the second card now. He appears a little fatter in this one, I guess. A little chunky. Freddie Fitzsimmons. All right, moving on. The first of 2 of Hugh Kritz. He was a speedy, good-hitting second baseman for the Reds in the 1920s. He was traded to the Giants for the 1933 season, and he was with them when they won the World Series. So I asked myself, why were these players, of all players, appearing twice in this set, seeing as they weren't really superstars that we recall to this day? Most of them are appearing, were players for the Giants or the Senators. Nice looking red there, don't you think, Hugh Kritz? So now we're moving on to Fred Schulte. In 1933, as a member of the Washington Senators, he hit .295 and led the team with a .333 average and 4 RBIs in the World Series, even though he did that for the Senators, even though the Senators lost. Fred Schulte. Here he appears in a PSA 6 in a fielding position. You see this pose with quite a few cards in the 33 set. Look at that glove. All right, moving right along. We're going to Gus Mancuso. Gus appears twice. Here he is in a fielding position. He actually was a catcher, and he was considered the top defensive catcher of his time. And he had joined the Giants in the 1933 season when new manager Bill Terry was rebuilding the team after the resignation of John McGraw. And Terry had wanted to build his team around speed, defense, and pitching. Mancuso was in charge, put in charge of the pitching staff. Here, let me get that. There we go, better. The pitching staff. Remember, this pitching staff included Carl Hubble, Hal Schumacher, Fat Freddie Fitzsimmons, a guy named Roy Parmalee. And under Mancuso's guidance, here we have another Mancuso and another PSA 6. Under Mancuso's guidance, The Giants pitching staff led the National League in ERA as the team won their first pennant in 9 years. Gus Mancuso. Next up is JoJo Moore. Look at that beautiful red background. I just love that. JoJo was considered an intimidating left-handed hitting leadoff man, a line drive hitter. He hit over 305 times in his major league career. He was overshadowed by more colorful teammates, but he was a fixture for the New York Giants in left field. There's another one of JoJo Moore. All right. Our final player is Ozzie Blugey. I think that's how you pronounce his name, Ozzie Blugey. He was part of the Senators, played for the Senators for a 17-year career, 1922 to 1939. He was known for his defensive ability, and he led the American League in double plays in 3 different seasons from his perch at third base. And here's his second card in the Goudey series. In 1948, here's kind of an interesting fun fact about this guy. Certainly a company man, Washington Senators. He actually managed the Senators from 43 to 47. Later, he was the team's farm director, and his greatest scouting coup was a young Harmon Killebrew. So how about that? I just love these stories where baseball is connected and one generation is handing off to the next. So there are some common players in the Goudey series appearing twice. Another glimpse, another angle as we continue to deconstruct this famous set. Stay tuned.